Hey everyone, and welcome back for another episode of the Cutting Room 101, and this week's topic was chosen by Tom, and the topic is on a movie that we find to be overrated. Now the thing about my choice that makes it a little bit interesting is that I really love this movie, and it's one of my favorite movies of 2008, so that's why I hate to say it, but I think The Dark Knight is overrated. Now I used to love this movie even more than I do now, but suddenly I started seeing this movie on all these top 10 lists of the best movies of all time, and out of all the movies out there, there's so many better movies than this. I just do not think it's the best movie of all time, and that's why I think it's overhyped. I think it's the best comic book movie, but out of movies like The Shawshank Redemption, Jaws, Psycho, Rear Window, Casablanca, all these classic movies, I just don't think that this movie just ranks in comparison with those films. And from that point on, when I started seeing this movie on all these best movies of all time lists, I just couldn't watch the movie the same way, and each time I watched it, I found more things that I didn't really like as much about it. I think the Joker is the best part of the movie, and without Heath Ledger's performance, this movie just wouldn't have been the same. He did a fantastic job, and when I first heard he was playing the Joker, I wasn't too thrilled. I didn't think he'd be able to do it, but he definitely surprised me. But I just think that Heath Ledger's performance overshadowed all the other actors, and I do think the other actors did a great job, but it just seemed like the Joker was too much of a focus of the movie, and I know that he's the villain, so he's supposed to be a big part, but I think that Batman should never be overshadowed by the Joker, but that's just my opinion, and I think they both did a great job, but Christian Bale, he just keeps getting deeper and deeper with his voice, and I just think that in the next movie, he needs to lighten up on the deep voice. Because if he doesn't, I don't even know if I'll be able to honestly understand him in the next movie. This movie, I think his voice just was too deep. I think that most of the action scenes were awesome, such as the Bat Pod race scene and scenes like that. I think those scenes were really well done and really cool to watch. But scenes that involved hand-to-hand combat just didn't really impress me that much, and I thought it was better done in Batman Begins. And I would have liked to have seen cooler moves, or at least mixed them up. It just seemed like the same 1-2 punch combo, and then the bad person was defeated. And I would have liked to have seen more of a mix-up, so I'm hoping in The Dark Knight Rises, since the whole movie is focusing on Bane and it's going to be a lot of hand-to-hand combat, I'm hoping it's a lot better in that film, and I'm sure it will be. But this movie, the hand-to-hand combat sequences didn't impress me that much. Also, I think besides the character of the Joker and Batman, the other characters just weren't developed as well, in my opinion. And I think that Batman Begins did a better job of keeping the story more character-driven. And it's just things like this that I think are holding the movie back, and each time I watch this movie, I just like it less than the previous time I watched it. But I still think it's awesome. It's still my favorite comic book movie ever, but I just liked it a lot more when I first saw it. I was caught up in the hype, and the fact that I walked out of that movie with all of that hype surrounding it, and it was a really good movie, just really says something about this movie, because it is really awesome. But I just don't think it's one of the best movies ever made, or even in the top 10. On IMDb, it's number 9, and I just don't think it should be that high. There's plenty of other better movies than this, in my opinion. But like I said, I love the movie, and it's still one of my favorite movies of 2008. I just find it to be pretty overrated. So that's my pick for an overrated movie, and let me know in the comments below if you think The Dark Knight lives up to all the hype. And if you're not subscribed to my main channel, Film Recall, and you want to check it out, I'll post the link in the description below. And definitely subscribe to this channel if you're not subscribed already and you're really liking the videos. And stay tuned tomorrow to hear from Anthony on a movie that he finds to be overrated. Have an awesome Halloween, and see you then.